from this place of being ready and of knowing that we are each one with the divine source of all of life, we acknowledge this power and this presence and this divine loving energy that exists in, as, and through each of us. And our souls are ready to remember. And so today, as we join in this celebration of finding hope in community, we know that we each uplift, empower, and support each other in this grand development of our souls. And we are ready to acknowledge that, to remember that, and to grow our consciousness, to accept a greater realization of this truth that is at the very foundation of our teaching. And so I am grateful to be here and to know this with all of you today. I'm grateful to affirm for each one the power of community, the power of hope, and the power of being here together. And so with deep gratitude and grace and joyful expectation of good and greater good, I simply release this word into law, knowing that it is already done. And I invite you all to join me in saying, and so it is. Amen. Hallelujah. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Morristown, a vibrant community where love, joy, and inclusivity are at the heart of everything we do. Here, we honor the unique journey of every soul, offering a place of healing, growth, and celebration. Together, we create an atmosphere of openness and love where every person is seen, valued, and accepted just as they are. My name is Lori Carlson. I'm a licensed practitioner here at Center for Spiritual Living Morristown. Thank you for joining us. It's great to see all your faces, and whether you're here in person or watching the live stream or checking us out at a later time, we are so happy that you are here to join us on this journey of shared wisdom, light, and transformation. If this is your first time, we welcome you and invite you to get a welcome packet and complete a new visitor form so we can include you in the future events happening at our center. To all of you, we publish a weekly newsletter through Constant Contact. If you are not already signed up, please sign up in the back so you can stay in touch and know what's going on. You can also visit us at our website, which is cslmorristown.org, and which has recently been updated. Reverend Janice has done a lot of work on it, so you should check it out. We are happy to welcome back our musician, Grayson Nierenberg, who is blessing us. That was Get Ready My Soul by Daniel Maymod, but the rest of the songs today are Grayson Nierenberg originals. So I'm so happy. I love working with Grayson. So the 2025 CSL theme is Rising Higher, Growing Deeper. The monthly theme for September is Transcendent Purpose. And my topic today is finding hope in community. So I'm going to be talking about that, but first we're going to start the way we always start here at CSLM with our Namaste practice. Now last week when the topic was, when Reverend Karen spoke, but it was the International Day of Peace, we did the Namaste as the peace within me recognizes the peace within you, right? So since today I'm going to be talking about hope, and the importance of hope, I'm going to tweak our Namaste practice to be today to say the spark of hope within me recognizes and honors the spark of hope within you. So you can either say that or you can say Namaste and just know those words, but I want you to really think about hope as you do this and to really see the hope in your own heart and in the hearts of those around you. So I invite you to put your hands together and to turn to someone and say, the spark of hope within me recognizes and honors the spark of hope within you. The spark of hope within me recognizes and honors the spark of hope within you.
And recognize this part of the hope within you.
It's a long
one thing to say.
I know it is. Well, you can just think it and say namaste, that's fine. But, okay, everybody feel a little more hopeful? Feel that spark of hope? Well, now we are going to have another beautiful song from Grayson Nierenberg called The Power of Your Love. And he's going to invite us to sing along a little bit, so.
Yeah, so this one I wrote a while ago. I played it here a few times. And the chorus just says, I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. So you can feel free to join me on that. Yes. Dark skies, sad eyes, keep falling after so many tries. I wanna realize the good I have inside, that I've forgotten through all the lies. Lord, show me the way in the path that you will pave, through all your love and everlasting grace, and give me the faith to transform my fate from a place of quiet sadness to a loving embrace, and open up my eyes to reach higher heights, to break through the bounds that get me tied down. I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. Reaching out my hand, I wanna join the dance. Won't you teach me how to be a better man? I'm following your ways to clear up all this haze, make way for tomorrow to be a better day, and give me the faith to transform my faith, a place of quiet sadness to a loving embrace, and open up my eyes to reach higher heights, to break through the bounds that get me tied down. You can sing, I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. Feel the power of your love that you send from up above. That you send from up above.
Power of love. Yes, Grayson, thank you so much. So beautiful. So, good morning. So today, I'm going to be talking to you, like I said, about hope, the power of hope, and finding hope in community. So we know that in this teaching, right, that oneness is the very core, the foundation. Hope is the glimmer in the dark that brings us into allowing for a knowing, that brings us into the teaching, that brings us into a greater understanding of this oneness. If we don't have that spark of hope, it's hard to get started, right? So this is where it all starts. Also, it comes from that knowing of our deep oneness. What is it we say? There is no separation, right? So Ernest Holmes also says, we are all members of one universal family, children of one God. Separation is an illusion. When we know this, the sense of isolation disappears and hope returns. When we know this. So this is what the work is, right? This is the spiritual journey. To remember this, to move this from head to heart, to really understand this, to allow that blossoming of hope. It creates a ripple in consciousness, and we get to show up as that. So, God, I'm all over the place here, sorry guys. But this is the thing, we are one with this knowing. And we as a community get to show up for each other in that knowing. Emma Curtis Hopkins says, see God in each other, right? That's what we were doing with our Namaste practice. When we do that, when we recognize the oneness, how can you be hopeless? Because that hope in me recognizes that divinity in you. When you are really aware of the oneness, it is the very definition of hope, right? None of us are alone. We are all connected. And in that beauty, in that power, there is so much strength and so much that can support us and uplift us. And look, I'm talking about hope not as a wish, not like as, oh, I hope I win the lottery. I'm not talking about that kind of hope. I'm talking about the hope that comes from this oneness, that comes from this teaching, that comes from this unity with the divine. That is a different kind of hope. That's not a wish. That's not just some superfluous thing. That is a real state of understanding. That is not a feeling, but a mental and spiritual resource that we can nurture and nourish and grow and share with the world. And that is our spiritual journey. That is our job here. If you're on the spiritual path, if you're here in this teaching, that is your job. Your job is to recognize the truth and be a spark of hope and bring that out into the world. And I'm not talking about spiritual bypass. I'm not talking about okay, I'm going to be hope, like everything's fine in the world. I know that there is a lot going on in the world that makes people feel hopeless. But it is our job and it is our teaching that hope is ever present. That spark of hope doesn't come from the circumstances and conditions. It comes from within. It comes from that recognition of our oneness. And from that place, we get to bring that to the world condition, to the circumstances we encounter, to the things that make us feel hopeless. We bring that sense of inner hope, that spark of the divine. And, look, you all know my history. There was a lot of times when I felt hopeless. My history of addiction and recovery, I spent a long time in feeling totally hopeless. But I was also isolated. I was also not connected. I was also not in community. I was also not in this teaching. And I didn't understand that I am a spark of the divine and that is my gift. And that is my hope and that is my strength. But we know that wherever we put our attention is what magnifies in our world, right? Where's my page of quotes here? Sorry. Okay. So I love this. Mary Morrissey calls community a field of amplified possibility. So when we are in community with one another, we are amplifying the possibility. So what possibility are you putting into that community? So I'm going to bring it back to the same things I always say, which is that it always is a matter of choice. So what choice are you making about where you're putting your energy and your attention? Right? When you're with your friends, when you're sitting in social hour, when you're meeting with your family, what are you talking about? Are you, and excuse my language, bitching about everything that's wrong with the world? Are you focusing on all the problems? Are you whining about what you wish was different? Or are you focusing on the solution? Are you looking beyond the circumstances to those elements of hope? Because let me tell you, they are out there. Of course, they're not on the 5 o'clock, Channel 5 news. They're not on your social media feed, perhaps. Sometimes, it depends on what you like, I guess, maybe some of it is. But it's not what you're inundated with. what you're inundated with is all the negativity and all that's wrong and all the problems and all the things that want to make you hopeless, because that's how they control you. Sorry. Okay, anyway, but there is just as much good going on if you look for it. I read Reasons to be Cheerful. I read The Good News by CNN. I watch the podcast, The Good News on the radio station. I can't think of the name of it right now. But so there are lots of avenues for you to find those things that are hopeful. And then it's your job to share them. So, I was just reading an article about how someplace in Japan is growing moss on the top of buildings to help, right? I think Gail posted it. So those things, when you see those things, there's so much of that going on. There are places where people are doing really good things. There's a lot of things to be hopeful about, but we have to recognize them, focus on them, look for them. What is it Mr. Rogers used to always say? Look for the helpers, right? Yeah, look for the good, because it's out there. You just have to look past all that bombardment of negativity that the world tries to distract you with. And it does, I know. But the shared stories of good is where we can draw power and how we can help uplift each other. In recovery, we have a saying that, like, if you don't believe, then use my belief. And Michael Beckwith says, we lend our belief to each other. Well, I believe we do that with hope too, right? If you're feeling hopeless one day, or your hope is depleted, reach out to someone else in community and use theirs. And when you're feeling hopeful, be that spark of hope for someone else. Because that's how we share, that's how community empowers us and brings that hope forward. Science has just recently caught up with what we as metaphysicians and people on a spiritual journey have known all along. And that is how powerful positive thinking and hope are, right? People who have a hopeful mindset are healthier, live longer, are more productive, or are more successful, are more, right? They have less depression and anxiety, all of these things. They live longer, all of these things. Now they have all these statistics and tests and studies that prove it, right? But we've always known that. We've always known, as within, so without. So if you are feeling hopeful and joyful and good and grateful inside, you're going to have more to be hopeful and joyful and grateful to on the outside, right? So it has always been a choice. It always comes back to change your thinking, change your life. And you get to choose what you focus on, like I said. And as a community, we get to amplify that power. So that's why singing together is so great. That's why praying together is so great. That's why meditating together is so great. All of that. It's wonderful to do it on your own, but when we do it in community, it amplifies the power, it magnifies and sends out into the world consciousness a greater energy. And it also uplifts all of us, right? There's nothing better than singing along with Grayson. There's nothing better than meditating in a room with other people. There's nothing better than praying together. It's also socializing, right? Staying in social hour, staying for the community meeting that we're having later, being of service, showing up for one another, being in community. All of these things lift us up and give us that element of hope and expand that hope and allow us to share that hope. So I go to a morning AA meeting every morning and I share my joy. And they all know it. They're like, where's Lori? Where's the joy? But, I don't share it to brag about my life, because my life's not wonderful. I don't do it to make anyone feel less than. I do it to show hope. And a lot of times I say, I'm really struggling with this, but but, right? But I'm grateful for the experience, or, but I know this too shall pass, or, so the joy is not always like, life is wonderful. I'm not talking about a Pollyanna sense. I'm talking about knowing that deep hope that no matter what is happening, we are always one with Spirit, God is always present, and therefore, hope is always present. But it's work. It's not something, hope is not something that you just fall into. Hope takes intentional practice. It takes conscious choice to choose to see the good, to choose to be in community, to choose not to fall into negative thought patterns, to change your thinking, change your life, right? All of that. It's all a choice. And how do we do that? What's Lori's mantra? Daily practices. Yes, right. So we get to do that every time we make a decision. Every time we choose what to focus on, what we're going to talk about, whether we're going to be pissed off about the guy who cuts us off in traffic or remember the person who let us in, right? It's where you put your energy and what you're sharing with others. Because that's where hope is born. Hope is born in community, and it sparks and inspires others. Thich Nhat Hanh says, it is possible the next Buddha will not take the form of an individual. The next Buddha may take the form of a community. A community practicing understanding and loving kindness. A community practicing mindful living. Just let that sink in for a minute. So, don't we want to be that community? Don't we want to be that community that practices a conscious intention of sharing hope and of being loving kindness in the world? We could be that. We are that. I affirm that we are that as a community, right? And we do that already, but we're going to do it more and more. And even though, there's, like I said, there's so much going on in the world, that's why it's even more important now. It's even more important to hold that vision and to show up for one another and to do our spiritual practices. Parker J. Palmer says, in true community, we are windows for one another, helping each other see into our own souls. There's our namaste practice again, right? We help each other see into our own souls. But what is it you see? This is where the work is. Are you seeing hope? Are you seeing oneness? Are you seeing the truth that we are all sparks of the divine? Because we get to fan that flame together. We get to fan that flame of hope by showing up in community, by making mindful choices, by being intentional about where we spend our energy, all of that. That is all up to us. And Mother Teresa reminds us, you can do what I cannot do, I can do what you cannot do. Together, we can do great things. And this is the point of community, right? Together, we can do great things, and we are doing great things, but we can do even more in community, lifting each other up, planting and nurturing the seed for each one. So I have some practical, I kind of know them by heart anyway, but I have some practical things you can do, right? What are they? Lori's daily practices. We all know what they are. Spiritual mind treatment, doing affirmations, spending time in meditation. One of the most important things is reaching out and being reached out to, right? That give and take that I've talked about before. Being available. Sacred listening. Being available to allow someone else to see their own soul, right? Being available to hear the spark of hope in someone else. And then letting it fan the spark of hope within you. These are all things we can do. And then you get to be the hope bringer. You get to be the one that brings hope into a room. I always say, Yeah, do you want to bring that energy? What energy do you want to bring into the room? Do you want to bring the energy of hope? Or do you want to bring the energy of all the problems and all the despair and all the negativity? It's your choice. I mean, I'm not saying that stuff doesn't exist, but it's your choice what you choose to bring. And we get to bring, in community, we get to acknowledge that. We get to buoy each other up. We get to fan the flame, all of that, because we are here together. Because we are here for each other. Because what one cannot do, many can do. I'll tell you one thing, I can't sing. I can't carry a tune. But when I sing with everybody, I sing. You know, when everybody else is singing, I sing. I don't do it by myself. I don't even do karaoke. But so it's just one example of what you think you can't do by yourself. When you're united in a community of like minds, a community of loving intention, then it gives you the freedom to try new things. It gives you the freedom to step outside the box, and that sparks hope. That fans the flames of hope. We know that this is how it works, right? This is the teaching. Reverend Karen talked last week about how thoughts are things, and we manifest that which we think about. So are you thinking about the hopeful things in the world? Are you thinking about how you can show up for others? Because I want to be a member of that community that becomes the next Buddha influence in the world. I want to be somebody who shows up and sparks hope in others. I want to be a recognition of the fact that we are all connected. We are all one with Source, with Spirit, and with each other. And in this place of knowing, there is no lack of hope. I don't see how it's possible. I remember what it felt like to be hopeless. And let me tell you, that first recovery meeting that I went to, when I saw other people laughing and smiling and being happy, I thought they were all full of shit, excuse my language, but I was like, this is all so phony, how can this be real? Because I didn't have the spark of hope yet. But we can go out and be that spark of hope for others. When I found this community, I was like, oh my God, like, you know, I remember when Eileen greeted me at the door, I remember those blue doors, right, the blue doors of hope, the blue doors of community. And I remember and I feel at home here. I feel like anything is possible here. I feel when I'm here the infinite possibility of community. And as we've been going through this transition of, you know, coming from downstairs, upstairs to downstairs, and Reverend Frankie leaving and everything, it's great to see the community so strong and so moving forward. And how there's so much hope in that. There's so much hope for the future. There's so much hope in our lives because of community, because we show up for one another. And I am so grateful for that. And there's another thing, okay, that was on my list of all the things you can do. Gratitude, you know, I'm always talking about my gratitude journal. Gratitude is one of the greatest ways that you can be hopeful, that you can spark hope, that you can encourage, nurture, and nourish the hope within you. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for the community we have. Know that we can go forth uplifted and empowered and support one another to a greater degree. Every day we get that opportunity. We get that choice. And how lucky are we to know that and to trust that. When Ernest Holmes says, when individuals come together and unify their thought, a greater power is generated. The combined faith of a group lends strength to all. So I'm telling you, rely on one another. Find strength in each other. Let the spark of hope within me, within each other, gender more hope around the world, in you and in your community. Let's do that together. Let's rely on each other. Let's know this truth. And let's be that community that brings more and more hope to the world. And now we're going to have another song from Grayson, and then of course, I wrote this talk, and of course, it turned into a poem in my head. So then I'm going to come back and basically do the talk again in a poem. So, but first, we're going to have Grayson, and I can't remember which song he's doing, but he'll tell you.
This is called The New Season. It's just welcoming the changes of the season that we see, and having nature demonstrate that change is a good thing. Waking up to breathe in that cool September air. Summer's coming to an end, and it feels like this year is flying past me. I can't keep up with it. Hourglass tipping into an endless sand pit. So we must enjoy the new seasons. Keep on finding out the world's reasons for going through its changes so many times a year. For it's showing us we can change and see clear. The leaves are falling down, painting on the ground. These shades of color tell us what it's all about. That it's okay to change, don't have to be the same. Every stage is beautiful, it's all in what you play. Wind tells the leaves when it's time to fall. The trees will be bare before too long. These memories we make are something we have to cherish. And the only thing that I can recommend is to find your peace and live your truth no matter what you hear. These seasons change, so I can't weep. I believe it's fear. Fear of the unknown stops us from being true. The turns you take will change your point of view. Leaves are falling down, painted on the ground. These shades of color tell us what it's all about. That it's okay to change, don't have to be the same. Every stage is beautiful, it's all in what you play.
Even whistle. All right, so we're going to start. I'm going to lead us in a short guided meditation just to prepare our consciousness for the poem. It was going to originally just be a meditation, but you know, I think the poem is more important. But anyway, so just take a moment and settle into your seat. And I invite you, if you are comfortable doing so, to close your eyes. Allow your body to soften. And take a gentle breath in and out. Relaxing into the rhythm of your breath. Inviting calm. Inviting presence. Just being in the moment. Feeling your feet on the floor. Feeling the seat beneath you. Recognizing where you are. feeling safe, feeling part of. Recognize that around you are souls, are friends, are members of community that are all sparking that hope, that are all here to support you and love you. Let's take a couple breaths in that awareness. Breathing in the recognition of everyone around you. And breathing out, share your love and hope with them. Let's do this a few times. Breathing in, feeling everyone around you, and breathing out, share your presence, your hope, your heart with everyone around you. Recognize that little spark of hope that is within and see it grow with each breath. It shines brighter, it glows stronger, it warms you from within because you are all here together. So breathing in, feel that glow of hope within, bolstered by everyone around you, and exhaling, share it, send it out. See it touching everyone in this community. Spend a few more breaths breathing in, allowing that hope to really glow stronger, brighter, warmer. And then exhaling and sending it out, sharing it, bathing everyone around you with that glow of hope. And then, in this next breath, we're going to do it as a community and send it out to the wider world. So as a community, everyone breathe in together, breathing in that hope that we encourage in each other, that we nurture and nourish by being together. And then on a loud exhale, sending it out, sending it out to the world, sending it out. And one more time, breathing in the nurturing, the nourishing, the hope, the glow, the warmth of our community. And then exhaling it out, sending it out, bathing the world around us with the hope that we bring each other. And then just allow your breath to settle back into a rhythm that is comfortable for you. Just keep your eyes closed if you're comfortable doing so. And I'm going to share, if I can find it, I'm going to share the poem with you. That is basically the talk I gave in poem form. Okay, it's called Hope Lives Between Us. Hope does not arrive all at once. It drifts in quietly, like dawn through open curtains, like breath that steadies after a long night. I used to think hope was something to chase, a far-off light waiting for me to catch it. But now I know hope moves among us, a circle without edges, a current that carries us home in the quiet moments when we remember we're not alone. It rises from oneness itself, that deep unseen thread, binding all hearts, all beings, all life. When I touch the truth of oneness, I remember what blesses one blesses all. Each act of kindness ripples outward, and each tear shed in compassion waters the field of our shared becoming. This is where hope lives. It flickers first within, a small light rising from spirit's endless well, a whisper saying, "You belong." And then, like breath meeting breath, it reaches outward to hands extended, to eyes that see and are seen, to hearts that beat in rhythm with mine. I've learned that healing hums in this space between hearts, and hope shared grows, filling the bellies of those who hunger for it. When I reach out with hope, when I hold space for another's becoming, I find my own wholeness returning. What I give gathers light and circles back tenfold. In community, hope takes form, a shared meal, a knowing glance, a song we hum together when words fall short. It is all a remembering of our belonging. Even through the most difficult of times, there is always a hand, a voice, a presence calling me home. For hope is the movement of oneness, spirit breathing through each of us, love finding its own reflection in countless faces. Hope lives between us in every act of kindness, every shared silence, every circle of hearts beating as one. It flows inward to remembrance, outward to communion, a sacred cycle that never ends. And when I forget, when I drift from the light and my own hope falters, I return to the circle, to community, where words touch words, hearts touch hearts, and I find my rhythm again. There, in the glow of another's smile, hope rises once more, gentle, steady, and whole, ready to be shared. Thank you. Okay, so now it's time for announcements. We have a lot of announcements. Okay, so let me... Oh, wait, sorry. Before we do announcements, let's do our offering. Okay, so from this place of oneness, from this place of hope, from this place of togetherness, from this place of unity and knowing that we are all one, I invite you to give to this community, right? To this beautiful community that we are celebrating, to give financially, to give in service, to give by signing up for a social hour, to give by staying for the community meeting and being a part of, to give by attending our many events, which I'm going to be announcing in a minute, to give by showing up and fostering that community, growing that community. I'll pass that as well. So you can give in our basket. There's envelopes. You can give on Venmo or PayPal. You can give by going to our website and hitting the donate button, which is what I do. You can give. There's text to give. There's lots of ways to give. But here's the thing, the most important thing is to give from that place of oneness, to give from that abundant place of joy, to give from that deep sense of a community that fills you up and that you want to fill back up with your good, right? We believe in the law of circulation, so as you give,
So you receive.
so you receive. And so we get to participate in this good. We get to participate in this community. So I invite you, as the basket is going around, to repeat this affirmation after me. I give my good.
I give my good.
Joyfully.
Joyfully.
Gratefully.
Gratefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
And I bless this community.
And I bless this community.
With all that I have. With all that I am. With all that I give.
With all that I give.
In deep gratitude for one another.
In deep gratitude for one another.
I know that my good goes forth
I know that my good goes forth
to bless,
to bless,
to prosper, and to grow. And so it is.
so it is.
Okay, so announcements. Sorry guys, I got a bunch of them. All right, so this Friday night we have First Friday Healing Circle with Gail Belluardo. It's an amazing experience. I have not missed one yet, and I encourage you all to come. So that is Friday the 3rd, right, that's this coming Friday.
That's this coming
Yeah.
Friday, and it will be about hope.
Oh, and it will be about, well, how did you know? It will be right in keeping with the theme of today. We also have Qigong meditation through movement starting with Sharon Cheston. This starts October 9th, Thursday nights at 6 o'clock. Register on Breeze.
Or in the back on the side.
Or on the back,
The
there's a
little
sign-up
ones.
sheet. Okay, all right, sorry about that. So we also have Reverend Janice is starting an accredited class, which I have taken, which is wonderful. You need to take this to increase your consciousness, to show up for your community, to grow in hope. It's called Revealing Wholeness. It will be 7 weeks on Tuesday, starting on October 14th. It's on Zoom, so there's no excuse. You can do it in your pajamas. Yeah, right. So please sign up for that on Breeze, or is there a second? No, just on Breeze. Okay. Then on Sunday, October 12th, we have Love Kirtan Sangha here. Matthew and Angela from Love Sangha Kirtan Collective will be sharing an experience of music, community, and devotion. So you can, I don't know, is there a sign up? I don't see a
Just
sign up.
come.
Just come. So, okay, so after that Sunday, you can stay and enjoy Kirtan. Then we have a woman-to-woman luncheon coming up. Community and Conversation, Thursday, October 23rd. RSVP with Kathy or sign up in the social hour room. But this is going to be on Thursday at noon on October 23rd. Bring your favorite dish to share. So this is community. This is just what I was talking about, right? This is a way to show up and share your hope and come together and talk about all the good things that you've discovered, that you've found. Show up and be in community and conversation. Yes, Kathy?
Sign up sheet will be there next Sunday.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not their job, but we can RSVP to Kathy. Then we have
Kathy's here this week.
Then we have Healing Day, our annual Healing Day, coming up on November 9th. So this is from 1 to 5 p.m. You do have to register. It's an awesome day with so many modalities. I will be speaking that Sunday, and then I will be participating in the Healing Day. I assume that you all want to be there. There's just so much available. If anybody was there last year, it was awesome. It's going to be even better, I'm sure, because we are always growing and expanding and creating good and greater good.
There's flyers in the back, so if you could take some and post them in your community, at your ShopRite, or whatever.
Spread the word, right? There you go. That's how you get to be. That's how you get to be of service. Also, be in community and spread the word. Support all of these things that we're doing. Get other people to come support them. This is how we grow. This is how we show up as one another in community. And this is how you spread the hope. Because we have hope. You invite other people and they're come see who we are and what we do. Hey, everybody needs this, right? Okay, and the last thing is today we have the community gathering. It is very important that you stay and have your voice be heard, show up, be in community, spark the hope, see what's going on with us, and help us to plan our future, right? That's what this is all about. And in that light, Kathy Ronka is going to come up to explain about a survey that we are asking everyone to participate in. Not right now, but you're going to get it, and you're going to fill it out before the community meeting during social hour or something. Kathy, would you like to come up?
Sure.
Oh, look, I get to stand up here with you. Yay!
A little while ago, we have a webmaster who works on our
Website.
and he had given the group of us, the leadership council, a questionnaire, and I thought, why don't we take this questionnaire to everyone? Because we invite you to share your thoughts and your experience and hopes as we really deepen our understanding of what the needs are of this community. So because of that, we have this questionnaire. It has a lot of really great questions, and I'm really kind of proud of the way it came out. But if you could just take one, and then either before social hour or after social hour, take some time to fill it and before our community meeting, or if you feel that you need more time, you can always take it home with you and return it within the next 2 weeks, October 12th, I believe that's the date. So take some time, it has a lot of really information, and it will help us to go forward and greet change with knowing all of your thoughts.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you to our leadership council and to Reverend Janice for everything that you've done and for this wonderful community meeting. Thank you for everybody who's brought food for our potluck, which we are going to have before the meeting. And so I think that's all the announcements. So I'm going to close us out the way I always do with an affirmative prayer with the closing mind treatment. And then Grayson is going to come up and grace us with another beautiful song. So I invite you to close your eyes, to come into community, to come into a recognition of the oneness that we are all a part of. The one spirit, the one mind, the one consciousness, the one love that we each get to be, that we are each unique expressions of. And so I know right here, right now, that each one here, each one watching, each one listening, is been uplifted, empowered, supported, and that the spark of hope within each has been flamed, has been fanned into giant flames that we are going out into the world to share. That we all recognize the hope that we are as sparks of the divine. That we all recognize that it is our mission, it is our job, it is our privilege to share that hope with others and to be that community of love in action, to show up as hope, to hold that space of recognition and grace, to foster and nourish in others that which we nurture in ourselves, the divinity within. And I am so grateful for this community, for this opportunity to know this truth with all of you. I am grateful to be a part of this consciousness and this love and this hope and this truth that is doing great things in the world and that will continue to do even greater things. I am grateful. And so I simply release this word into law with joyful expectation of greater and greater demonstrations of good, because that's the way it works. And so I simply allow it to be, knowing it cannot come back to me void. And I invite you all to join me in saying, and so it is.
Yes.
Amen. Hallelujah. And Grayson will be singing for us, and I will be available for Treatment Express after service.
So this one, I got the theme for today, and I wrote a song called Find Hope Together. On those nights when you feel so alone, and all you wanna do is go be, and let go of that feeling. Remember, hope will rise when you say, dear God, help me find my way. You gave me people that I love, and maybe all I need is a hug. Community, it's not hard to see when I'm there for you and you're there for me. Good in its purest form is within us, and it's our job to spread the love. Faith over fear any day. Hope is the light that paves the way. Seeing it all clearly now. All I wanted was to be found. Here I am. Once again I'm held together by my friends, knowing we are one. It's time to share the love. Today I no longer feel alone. Light has come through and lit up the road, going places I've never known, 'cause now I have the power